Hello everyone, I'm Brian Miller, and this is the NewsNet Weekly Roundup, the weekly show where I break down the biggest news stories out of the Star Wars universe. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to be notified anytime there's new content. Without further ado, let's get started. News about Justin Simien's departure from the long-awaited Lando Plus series has caught several off guard, including apparently Simien himself, who learned the news with the rest of us. When news broke that Donald and Stephen Glover would take over writing duties on the series, the reports suggested that this was a smooth decision worked out well in advance between all parties. Jeff Snyder, who broke the news, said on Thursday's The Hot Mic podcast that he believed Lucasfilm moved on from Simien after he was caught up on a time-consuming post-production process for the Haunted Mansion. This happened last summer when Donald Glover was finally available after finishing Atlanta for FX. Apparently, this was not the case exactly, as Simien posted on social media that he learned of the change in plans via Variety's Thursday headline. He wrote the following on a no longer available Instagram story in response to a headline announcing his exit. "This is me finding out right now." Nonetheless, Simien took the shocking news of his own departure in stride, wishing the Glovers the best of luck as they took a crack at the character of Lando in the same Instagram story. "Donald is a national treasure. Glad he and Steven get to carry the character forward their way. Can't wait to see, rooting for everybody black." As it stands, the Glovers appear to be the sole credited writers on Lando at this time, but we'll have to wait on the WGA's ruling once the series comes out. No work is currently being done as Hollywood writers, including the Glovers, are on strike. Star Wars Lando is in development at Disney+. A description attached to multiple products tied to Star Wars AHSOKA suggests that we'll be seeing the return of the Jedi, Anakin Skywalker himself. This follows older reports indicating that Hayden Christensen would be appearing in the Disney Plus series in some capacity. A multitude of products tied to the forthcoming AHSOKA series are now available to pre-order on Amazon. Beneath all of the relevant products, the description lists Anakin Skywalker alongside other characters confirmed to appear in the series. Stop looking for fashion help in Alderaan places. Add a little out-of-this-world style to your wardrobe with some truly epic, officially licensed Star Wars graphic t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies. Transport yourself to a galaxy far, far away with cool new apparel featuring Ahsoka Tano, Sabine Wren, Anakin Skywalker, Mon Mothma, and all of your favorite Star Wars AHSOKA characters. With this in mind, it should be acknowledged that the possibility exists. The third party wrote the copy of the product description, and it did not necessarily have Disney's direct approval. Nonetheless, this would be the first acknowledgement of Anakin's alleged role in the series since the Hollywood Reporter's article nearly 2 years ago. As of right now, however, it's unclear how large or small Christian's role in the series would be. There are several ways that Anakin could appear in the series. The most obvious are through flashbacks of events set prior to the events of Star Wars Rebels, which depicted the last known meeting between Anakin and Ahsoka Tano. Anakin fought alongside Ahsoka throughout the Clone Wars up until their bitter end, and years later he discovered that she was still alive after he became Darth Vader. Initially, Vader believed that he could turn his apprentice to spare her life, but resolved to kill her when she refused. Ahsoka's life was only spared thanks to the timely intervention of Ezra using the mysterious realm known as the World Between Worlds, and Ahsoka has resolved to find him after his mysterious disappearance after the Battle of Lothal. Vader, in the meantime, thought he had killed her and completed his mission. Another possibility is that Anakin returns due to becoming a Force Spirit, an ability that he somehow gained by the end of Return of the Jedi. Ahsoka meeting with Anakin after his fall and redemption would create something unique for the narrative of this series. Ahsoka will begin airing on Disney Plus with a 2-episode debut starting on August 23rd. Random House Worlds and Del Rey have announced every short story for the Star Wars anthology novel From a Certain Point of View Return of the Jedi, along with a snippet of each story and a series of posts on social media. There's no shortage of stories from both well-known and ancillary characters, including Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Richard E. Grant's The Rise of Skywalker character General Pride, and the Sarlacc Pit, among others. Star Wars Books' X account tweeted out excerpts of each story. As the tweets say, From a Certain Point of View, Return of the Jedi will be available to buy on August 29th. It has recently been revealed that Star Wars Jedi Survivor is getting a port to last-generation consoles. According to GameSpot, Electronic Arts and Respawn have indicated that they are early in the process of bringing the second Jedi game to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 consoles. Despite game director Stig Asmussen indicating that there were no plans for such ports in the lead up to the game's release, as he noted that the better processing power of newer consoles made the title best experienced on current generation consoles instead. The news about Jedi Survivor expanding to more consoles was first unveiled during an earnings report to investors. No time label on the sequel's arrival on older consoles was discussed. Jedi Survivor notably had performance issues for the PC port at the launch of the game, to the point where Respawn Entertainment issued an apology and a commitment to fixing the game in patches over subsequent months. This might be a cause for concern for the possibility of ports on weaker hardware, but it's likely that they have had time to assess where the issues are in order to bring the title to new consoles. It was also indicated on the earnings report that additional patches to further optimize the action-adventure game on multiple consoles are being developed, likely to assist in the process necessary to make the latest title perform on older hardware. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is set 5 years after the events of Star Wars Fallen Order, which saw Cal Kestis find a holocron with the locations of potential Force-sensitive people who could become potential Jedi, or, in the wrong hands, Inquisitors and Sith. Years later, Kestis and his allies have gone separate ways to individually fight the Empire and make a future for the Jedi, but circumstances cause their paths to align once more as a new threat from the past arises and puts everyone at risk, but in the process provides a potential safe haven for Kestis and his allies. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is currently available to play on Sony's PlayStation 5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Windows. No release date for the ports have yet been revealed at this time. And finally, we have some new canon for you this week. A fresh batch of episodes of Young Jedi Adventures is now streaming on Disney+, as well as comic issues Dark Droids number 1 and Yoda number 10 having released on Wednesday. Reviews for those entries into the canon timeline can be found on our website. And that does it for your Newsnet Weekly Roundup this week. All of these stories and more can be found in greater detail on our website, StarWarsNewsNet.com. Don't forget to check back regularly for updates to stories and breaking news out of the Star Wars universe. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter at BrianMiller1138 and catch me each week on my show, the Star Wars Canon Podcast. Until next time, may the Force be with you.